Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, October 10th, 5:41 a.m. Central Time as I speak here. December corn futures up 8 3/4 at 692. November soybeans up 25 3/4 at 1392 3/4. December Chicago wheat up 41 1/4 at 921 1/2. December Kansas City wheat up 35 1/2 at 1004 1/4. December spring wheat up 27 1/2 at 995 1/2. If you guys are listening on the podcast, appreciate it. As always, leave me a rating, leave me a review if you wouldn't mind. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, subscribe to the channel. I think we're only like 150 subscribers away from that 7,000 mark. We'd love to get there this month. Subscribe to the channel, like these videos, leave me a comment. If you've got yield reports, crop updates, weather updates, basis updates, given this river situation again, drop them in the comments. All of those things will help YouTube to help me to grow this channel. If you'd like some additional information from me, visit my website, www.standardgrain.com. Check out my premium subscription service today, guys. I send my premium subscribers a ton of information direct from me every single business day. Morning email goes out about 5:30 a.m. Central. In that email, you'll see every overnight headline you need to be aware of. Lots of charts, graphics, weather information, all of my grain marketing recommendations included there every day. My daily subscriber-only videos are part of this deal. On Friday, I did a mailbag video. These are probably my favorite videos to do. I usually answer 7 or 8 questions that have come in from subscribers in the preceding week or 10 days. And these are longer videos. This one was like 20 minutes. And there's some really good grain marketing questions, questions about the river issues, lots of different things. If you guys are interested in this sort of content, I promise a lot of this stuff will apply to you guys. The subscription deal is $50 a month, guys. Cancel at any time. No other fee, no other obligation. Nobody will try to sell you anything else. This is just an information-only service. Russian missiles struck Kiev and other Ukrainian cities overnight. Bloomberg reporting that this is perhaps the most intense barrage of missile strikes since the earliest days of the war. So this situation going in the wrong direction. Ukraine's President Zelensky said this: "They are trying to destroy us and wipe us off the face of the earth." Russia reportedly fired 75 missiles, although 41 were intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses. That's the report, at least. This attack comes after Putin accused Ukraine of involvement in an explosion that damaged a road and railroad bridge, I believe on Saturday, which connects Crimea to the Kerch Strait. That's a multi-billion-dollar project. It had been a signature project for Putin. This attack also comes after Russia's defense ministry appointed a new commander of its invasion forces in Ukraine. So if you're looking for a reason, why are the grain markets higher this morning? This is probably your reason. You've got fears of additional escalation, attacks, perhaps concern regarding the future of this Ukraine grain shipping deal. So again, if you're looking for a reason, why are the markets higher this morning? I would venture to say that this is it. This is the biggest escalation probably since the beginning of the war, is what several news outlets are reporting this morning. Now, maybe on that same note, just last week, prior to all of this, the UN is working to expand and extend the Ukraine grain export deal. Again, this was reported, I think, on Friday. A UN spokesperson said this: "We're trying to remove the uncertainty to ensure that people are publicly saying that, yes, this will be extended a further year, but we're not there yet. The Secretary General and his team are engaged in intense contacts on these issues. Mr. Guterres, that's the UN Secretary General, and the team are working hard on having an expanded and extended Black Sea grain initiative. They're working actively to remove the last obstacles to facilitate the export of Russian grain and fertilizer." So this deal, I believe, is set to expire at the end of November if it's not extended. Putin has been openly critical to some extent of this deal. The overnight attacks maybe put all of this in jeopardy. So that's, again, probably part of the reason why the markets are up here. Large money managers or the funds have been liquidating length in the soybean market. So CFTC released its weekly commitment of traders report on Friday. Funds were net sellers of 20,000 contracts of soybeans during the week ending October 4th. So that net long as of last Tuesday, 77,000 in soybeans. That's the lightest since December of last year. Funds still very heavy long the corn market, 229,000 contracts ballpark, a modest net short in the SRW wheat market, net short to the tune of about 13,000 contracts. We've got a USDA report out on Wednesday this week. This is the October crop production and WASDE report. It will be out on Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time. Based on a Reuters poll of analysts, the trade generally expects U.S. corn production estimates to decline. The average trade guess for the national corn yield is 171.8. Last month was 172.5. The soybean yield is expected to be unchanged, maybe even a little bit higher. 50.6 bushels per acre is the average trade guess. 50.5 was USDA's number last month. I'll talk about this report a little bit more and in a little bit more detail tomorrow and into Wednesday morning. The barge backup on the Mississippi River is being cleared or improved to some extent. Bloomberg reporting that a backup of more than 2,000 boats and barges is being cleared. Two choke points, one near Stack Island, Mississippi, another near Memphis, were reopened yesterday. Currently, there is no vessel lineup near Memphis, although there are restrictions to one-way traffic. The lineup in Mississippi is now less than 900, according to the Coast Guard. The river's still low, and this is still a problem. The forecast indicates, however, that there's going to be some rain in these lower areas of the Mississippi. This map on my screen here is the Euro forecast, total rainfall through October 19th. This red stuff is like, 2-3 inches of rain in these lower levels, lower areas of the river, and this is expected to be like 9-10 days out from now. So the forecast could be wrong, but the forecast indicates that maybe you're going to see some relief here, which would be much needed. Friday's job report was kind of a mixed bag. Non-farm payrolls increased by 263,000. That was slightly short of expectations, but still your unemployment rate fell to 3.5% from 3.7 the month prior. So this report was good enough to convince the trade that the Fed will continue to hike rates. One analyst interviewed by CNBC said this: "This puts the nail in the coffin for another 75 basis points in November." So generally speaking, good news is still bad news when it comes to the stock market. Any good or even decent economic data convinces the trade that the Fed will continue to hike rates and that they have the room to do that. A lot of people argue now that this labor and wage situation might be the most difficult part of the inflation problem to tackle. The stock market fell sharply on Friday. Didn't like this stuff because, again, it leads to the idea that the Fed will continue to hike. The S&P was down 2.8% on Friday. That's a huge daily decline. That index now down almost 24% year to date, so very firmly into bear market territory. Guys, a lot of our reports, or almost all of them, are delayed this week due to the Columbus Day holiday. So you've got export inspections and crop progress tomorrow. Ethanol production will be out Thursday. Export sales Friday. Cattle market was mixed Friday. Feeder cattle were lower. Cash cattle's been holding on pretty good. 144 in the south, 146 to 148 in the north, rather. In the outside markets, the dollar is higher again. Stock market a little bit lower. The S&P's down 12. The Dow Jones down 60. Bonds off just a few ticks. Gold's down $23. Crude oil down 35 cents at 92.28. A little bit lower there, but huge recovery here over the last couple weeks. Everybody have a great week. I'll talk to you same time tomorrow.